Have you ever thought that there once existed a nation that carved mountains and turned them into palaces? A nation that proudly declared, "Who can be more powerful than us?" But when the command of the heavens arrived, their magnificent palaces were buried beneath the dust. After Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, another nation emerged, known as the people of Ad. This nation lived in a region called Ahqaf between Yemen and Oman. Their city was called Iram Dhat Ulimad, the city of towering pillars, a city whose lofty columns seemed to speak to the sky. The bodies of the people of Ad were as strong as mountains. Their height touched the clouds, and their arrogance felt as if it pierced the heavens. They used to say, "We are the heirs of this land, and we will live forever." Their cities spread for miles across the sands of Ahqaf. The hooves of their horses made the earth echo. At night, the glow of their lamps shone far and wide, as if a crown had been placed upon the earth. In their gatherings and assemblies, they often repeated the same words, "People like us will never be born again." Their children, at a very young age, would lift heavy stones to display their strength, and their elders would proudly say, "Our children too will bend mountains." The people of Ad held another strange belief. They thought the wind was their servant. Their young men would stand in the middle of the valley, stretch out their arms, and say, "Look, the wind obeys our bodies." Their elders would proudly declare in their councils, "Our forefathers used to change the direction of the wind. Who can stop us?" When they saw a storm approaching from afar, they laughed and said, "This will fall upon our enemies, not us. The wind is with us." They did not know that the very wind they considered their strength was about to become their greatest enemy. The people of Ad were not only tall, but their physical structure was many times larger than ordinary humans. Even today, their footprints can be found between the mountains near rivers, astonishing those who see them. The doors of their homes were so high that a horse and his rider could enter without lowering their heads. Their utensils were made of stone, so large that an entire family's meal could be cooked in a single pot. Time passed, and their arrogance continued to grow. Their rebellion increased day by day. Then Allah sent His prophet toward them, Prophet Hud, peace be upon him. Prophet Hud said, "O my people, worship Allah alone. There is no deity for you except Him." They laughed and replied, "Do you want us to abandon the religion of our forefathers? We are powerful. Nothing can harm us." Prophet Hud said, "I warn you of a punishment you cannot even imagine." But when arrogance fills hearts, advice shatters like a stone striking rock. Every day, Prophet Hud would go to their markets, palaces, and gates, delivering the final call. Sometimes their leaders would laugh and say, "If your words held any truth, our palaces would have collapsed long ago." Sometimes children mocked him, and some people would change their path upon seeing him, fearing that the fear of Allah might enter their eyes. One day, Prophet Hud entered their grand assembly. The chiefs were seated on golden thrones. Prophet Hud said, "Observe the system of power created by Allah. Your strength is nothing." They laughed and replied, "Even if punishment comes, we will stop it with our power." A few days before the punishment, a strange scene appeared in the valley. At night, a deep sound came from the sky. There was no thunder, no lightning, yet it felt as if something was calling from afar. The people of Ad said, "This is just the sound of the mountains." Prophet Hud said, "This is not a call of mercy, this is a warning." The next night the earth trembled slightly, so lightly that only animals became unrestless. People laughed and said, "Even the earth fears our strength." They did not know this was the earth's final protest. Then the decree of Allah arrived. First, a drought struck them. For 3 years not a single drop of rain fell. Rivers dried up, gardens burned, and the land turned to stone. People kept looking toward the sky. When will the rain come? But the sky responded with silence. In the first year they said, "This is nothing, we are strong." In the second year thirst dried their tongues. Empty pots struck against walls. Animals began to collapse from thirst. In the third year the laughter, pride, and voices of the people of Ad vanished. Those who once claimed to challenge the sky were now silent. When they came to Prophet Hud, he did not speak with tears. He only said, "The time of punishment is near." Then one day 3 clouds appeared in the sky, one red, one white, and one black. A voice from the heavens called, "O people of Ad, choose one cloud." They laughed and said, "The black cloud, it holds water and mercy." But they did not know that the cloud carried wrath, not mercy. The sky turned dark. The air became cold. People shouted with joy, "Look, the rain has come!" But it was not rain, it was the storm of punishment. The first gust arrived. Dust and stones began to fly. The second gust arrived. Trees fell. Animals were lifted into the air. The third gust arrived. Humans were thrown into the sky. For 7 nights and 8 days the storm continued. The sky roared. The earth trembled. The palaces that once spoke to the heavens were now buried beneath the sand. When the wind finally stopped, only silence remained. A sea of sand and fallen bodies like hollow trunks of palm trees. But those who had believed with Prophet Hud, Allah saved them. They were sheltered in a mountain cave. Prophet Hud said, "O my Lord, you are the most merciful. Keep us firm upon the paths that lead to you." When Prophet Hud looked upon the destroyed city, tears filled his eyes. These were the same people who once said, "Who is more powerful than us?" And today no trace of them remains. Prophet Hud said, "The end of arrogance is always destruction, and disobedience to Allah leads to ruin." Even today, the city of Iram lies buried beneath the sands of Ahqaf, a testimony that honor does not come from power, but from obedience to Allah. This is not just a story, it is a reality that forever reminds us, when humans choose arrogance, oppression, and disobedience, Allah erases them.